5 and 6. Miss Stewart here with the next chapter of The House with Chicken Legs. In the last chapter, we saw that a girl called Salma went to apologise to Marinka about calling her a witch and offered her a gift, and they went to the market and Marinka got new clothes and she's been invited to her house, which she's very excited about. So this is the new chapter, Topsy Turvy. I hear Benjamin's desperate bleats for food before I even see the house. Guilt stabs into my chest and I stumble onto the porch, trying to ignore the scowl of the windows and the splintering mess near the skeleton store. While I was wandering around the market pretending to be a normal living girl, Benji was hungry, the house was falling apart and no one was preparing for the guiding. The great cycle was probably spinning out of control and the dead souls were probably fading away, all because of me. The guilty feeling burns into anger and frustration at not being able to have a few hours to myself without everything going wrong. Benji barges into my shins as I open the front door and Jack hurls towards me, screeching and cawing as if I'd been gone for 100 years. It's all right. I lift my arms to protect myself, but Jack collides with them and scrambles against my sleeves and shoulders. His claws catch on my new dress and pull at the fine, delicate threads. He tries to shove some food into my ear with his beak, but it's getting tangled into my new headscarf. I see something red and squishy drip onto the green fabric. Get off! I shove him away as hard as I can. He flies madly, twists into the air and lands heavily on the floor with a thud. I look down at my headscarf and dress. They're both stained with some kind of red sauce. And there is a ladder on the shoulder of my dress. Stupid bird, I yell. You stupid, clumsy, stupid bird. I regret the words, even as they are firing out of my mouth, but it's too late. I can't catch them. Jack tilts his head, his silver eyes staring at me in shock, and then he squawks angrily and struts out the back door limping. I'm sorry, Jack, I call after him, but he flaps away without a backward glance. I pick up Benji and whisper apologies into his ear as I build a fire and hook the kettle over it. He sucks my fingers, crying softly until the water is warmed. Then I give him a bottle and stroke his soft fur as the milk gurgles down into his belly. Once he's full, he falls asleep, and I move him onto the floor cushions. I change into one of my old dresses and leave the new one to soak in a bucket of water. The house is quiet, too quiet. I go outside and call for Jack, but he doesn't come, not even when I make kasha and sit on the porch with half a bowl just for him, whistling one of his special calls. The amber glow of sunset fades into the dark blue dusk, and I'm about to leave to go to old Jagger's house when the bones tumble from the skeleton store. You want me to build the fence? I glance up at the roof porch. It nods and I groan. I know the house won't open the gate in case I go through it, so it only wants me to build a fence to keep the living away. It's angry about me going off with Salma today and wants to stop me making friends. I'll do it when I get back, I snap. The house creaks as it rises and straightens its legs. No, I yell, please. I've got to see the old Jagger again tonight. She's helping me. She's explaining things about Baba and guiding, and my heart races. The house can't move on now. Not when I'm so close to bringing Baba home. I'll build the fence when I get back, I promise. The windows look at me suspiciously as the house lowers itself back down. The crack near the skeleton store splits further apart and I gasp as I feel a crack in my own heart. Shards of wood fall to the dusty floor and an icy wind seems to blow through my empty veins. I blink and breathe until the feeling passes, then I pull my shawl tight around my chest and look away from the mess. I won't be long. My hand lingers as I step off the porch. Take care of Benji and keep a lookout for Jack. I swallow back a lump in my throat to remind myself that tonight I'm going to find Baba, and then together we will fix everything. I run to the old Jagger's house, push past the curtains and look at the skulls decorating her stall. They aren't lit for guiding, but it's nearly dark, so I'm sure they will be soon. Marinka! The old Jagger beckons me inside her house as the door opens. How are you feeling tonight? Good, ready to guide the dead. How is your house? She asks. Fine. I look at the table, surprised that there is only bread and a salad laid on it. It's not much of a feast for guiding. And Jack? You remember Jack? Of course. When you first brought him here, he was just a chick tucked up in your shawl. You cared for him like the house cares for its Jagger. He's more independent these days. But you still look after each other, don't you? The old Jagger offered me a chair and some slices of bread. I nod and feel a surge of regret from pushing Jack away, twisting inside of me. Corvids are such clever, sociable birds. When I was your age, I used to watch the ravens and the wolves on the steppes. The ravens led the wolves to prey, and the wolf let them share their food. I scoop some salad onto my plate and glance at the door, wondering when the old Jagger will light the skulls to call the dead. They play together too. The ravens pull the wolf's tail and the wolves chase them. It took me a while to figure out. It was all good fun. The old Jagger chuckles. Do you still play with your house? Pardon? My gaze swings back to her as I realise she's asked me a question. Play with the house, hide and seek, tag, guide the soul. The names of the games bring almost forgotten memories to the front of my mind. The house and I used to play hide and seek in the forest. That was how I learned that the house could climb trees and creep silently through fallen leaves. We used to play tag too. I remember running as fast as I could through midnight meadows and houses, feet pounding after me. My heart would thump so hard my whole body shook and I would scream with excitement until my throat was sore. When I was too exhausted to run anymore, the house would scoop me up with one of its big chicken feet and throw me onto its roof for a piggyback. Holding onto the chimney pot, I would bounce up and down until I felt like my lungs might burst from laughing so much. I haven't played with the house in years. I push the memories away and sit up straight. I'm nearly 13 now, but instead of feeling more grown up, the words make me feel like a lost little child. That's a shame, the old Jagger waves her pipe around the room. My house and I are both as old as the hills, but we still play together all the time. Maybe not tag, she chuckles. That would be like a snail chasing a tortoise, but we play tic-tac-toe and hold tight, Topsy Turvy. Before I chance to grab hold of anything, the whole house falls sideways. Furniture slides across the floor, carrying us with it. My eyes widen in panic as I see the old Jagger calmly filling her pipe. As shelves topple behind her with an almighty crash. What's going on? I yell frantically, trying to grip the mantelpiece as my chair collides with the wall. Everything that was on the floor is now heaped against the wall and my house is still turning. My stomach lurches as we reach another tipping point and careen across the floor towards the ceiling. Topsy-turvy, she squeals again, shaking with laughter as she rocks her chair to right herself. I try to do the same, but my face is pressed tight against the wall and my legs are trapped under the table. You have to stay upright as the house rolls over, the old Jagger shouts. I smash onto the ceiling and end up upside down beneath a jumble of chair legs. Technically, I suppose it's the house that's upside down, so I wonder if I am in fact the right way up. You've lost, the old Jagger beams from her chair, which is miraculously the right way up on the ceiling. It's a ridiculous game. Look at the mess. I crawl out from the devastation, hot and flustered, heart pounding. The old Jagger laughs, which just makes me crosser. I frown and sit on the roof joist, trying to catch my breath. Old Jagger lights her pipe and walks towards the open window. Come and see. Leaning out, she points up at the sky, and the house legs are sticking straight up, its toes wiggling in the starlight. And can you see the picture of the house upside down there? My house can't walk far or fast these days, the old Jagger sighs. I think soon it will seize up altogether, but it still loves to dance over the Milky Way. The hairs on the back of my neck lift and shiver run down my spine. What will happen to your house when it can't move anymore? Everything is part of the great cycle, the old Jagger shrugs. We all return to the stars eventually. I think of Barbara and remember why I'm here. Shall we get ready to guide the dead now? The old Jagger looks at me out of the corner of her eyes. My house is old, ancient. It has guided enough dead in its lifetime to its fulfilment. The younger house took its place as the guiding house many years ago. What do you mean? My house is retired. We don't guide the dead anymore. But you said you'd help me with the guiding. I gasp as all hopes for tonight come crashing down around me. I said I'll help you prepare for your guidings. I can help you cook your borscht or brew kvass, or learn the death journey words. I know all that, I snapped. I just need to know how to open the door and close the gate by myself. The old Jagger sucks on her pipe and nods thoughtfully. If you bond with your house, you'll have more control over your gate. How do I do that? Time. Patience. The old Jagger leads me back across the ceiling and down the walls as her house rolls slowly and calmly this time to settle back on its feet. Frustration boils under my skin. I don't have time or patience. I need to get Baba back now. The house is crumbling and dead souls are fading away, all because of me. Isn't there another way, I ask? Something to help us bond quickly. Well, there is a ceremony of bonding. The old Jagger's eyes shine. I remember our ceremony when I bonded with this house. It's such a wonderful moment in Jagger's life. And the party. Party? Ceremony? Baba never told me about any ceremony. I frown. I don't want to feel cross with Baba again, but she should have told me about this. Maybe she was keeping it as a surprise. The Jagger shrugs. It's not like you need to know until it's your time. I have some pictures of the last ceremony I went to. She looks around the room at her papers scattered across the floor among upturned furniture and laughs. I'll have to tidy it up in a bit to find them. How about I tell you about it tomorrow night? I could help you clear up now, I offer eagerly to find out about the ceremony. Oh, don't worry about that, the old Jagger dismisses the mess with a wave. You should check on your house and get some sleep. I'll see you tomorrow. The door swings open and I'm bundled outside before I can say anything. The skulls on the stalls seem to be silently laughing at me, their mouths twisted in mocking grins. I storm past them and step into the darkness of the market. My skin feels too tight and I can't shake the feeling I've been tricked or cheated. I wanted to bring Baba home tonight. What if she has drifted further away? What if it is too late? What if she is gone? I push the thought away and look up at the sky. It's a deep blue black and the arc of the Milky Way, a brilliant glittery swish of clouds extending across it from the far east to the west. Taking a deep breath, I stand tall. It doesn't matter how far away Baba is. I will find a way to bring her home. I have to. Not only to save me in the house, but to save all the dead that are in danger of fading away because they can't get to the stars. I try not to think about all the Jagger houses that are suffering with strain because of me. Everything, the whole great cycles, depends on my bringing Baba home. The house is sleeping when I get back. Its eaves are slouched and chimney pots snoring quietly. One of the huge chicken feet is poking out from beneath the porch and the fence bones are slumped in front of the open skeleton door. A reminder that I promised to build the fence and what will happen if I don't. I sigh and shake my head, but kneel down next to the bones and start to work. If I don't keep my promises, the house will carry me away in the night before I get the chance to find out more about the cemetery of bonding and how it could help me control the gate. Something catches my eye as I lean onto the skeleton store and reach one of the long firmers. Its wires shining silver in the starlight. A long roll of thick wire stretches. I sometimes used to string the house onto the fence and gate. An idea forms in my mind, shivering with rebellion. I build the fence slowly, letting the idea take root and grow into a plan. When their fence is finished, built close to the house and covered with sheets and blankets to hide it from curious eyes, I sit on the porch steps and listen to the house breathing and make sure it is still asleep. One of the huge chicken feet twitches in front of me. The house is dreaming of running. All my life, the house has been in control of where we go and how long we stay. But tonight, things are going to change. I creep back to the skeleton store, slip a roll of wire over my shoulder and begin my task, fingers trembling. I twist the wire around each of the house's clawed toes, thread it through the spindles and coil it round the gnarled woody ankle, pulling it as taut as I can. I crawl beneath the porch until I see the other leg, and I manage to weave the wire between 3 floor joints and wrap it twice around its knee. Satisfied the house will not be able to stand, let alone walk, I emerge from the tangled wood, wire and chicken legs with a huge smile on my face. Tonight, for the first time in my life, I will fall asleep knowing that tomorrow I will wake up in the same place. And that, year 5 and 6, is the end of the chapter Topsy Turvy. I'll speak to you soon. Take care, everyone. Bye.